let's start with this from your paper, Christian. We are going to look at the assisted dying bill, going through the Lords now, I think, and there's some concern as to the number of amendments that have been put down.
Yeah, I think you'd describe it as trundling through the Lords. They are lobbing amendments at it like there's no tomorrow, and we've topped on a call from an elderly woman who wants assisted dying to come in, and she's calling on peers to hurry up, essentially. There are 900 amendments that have been tabled.
I mean, is that a record?
Unprecedented is the word.
It is an unprecedented amount of amendments in the Lords on a private member's bill. And again, this isn't government legislation. It's an astonishingly high-profile piece of private members' legislation. And really, the deadline is the spring, at which point we go into recess, and any bills that aren't actively carried over, as the term is, are dropped. So it has to be done by then. And even then, we won't see it come in until 2029, 2030. Obviously, I get why campaigners and Kim Leadbeater, whose legislation it is, would want it to get through the Lords. But I think the Lords have a really important job to do on all legislation, which is scrutinise and improve it. And I think there were concerns in the Commons that it was somewhat rushed through. And, arguably the Lords wouldn't have had to table so many amendments if they weren't deeply concerned about some of the clauses within the bill. So I think we've got to, be really careful to get the balance right.
Yeah, I mean, would you agree with that, Shona? That the supporters of the bill feel that some of these peers might be dragging their feet a bit and making it difficult, and those who have concerns about it will say, we really need to get this right. This is a really important piece of legislation.
Yeah, I think it's a bit unfair of the Express to say in its leader, snail's pace peers putting assisted dying bill at risk. They're not going at a snail's pace. There are just hundreds and hundreds of amendments, so you can't just skip through some to save time because we're on a deadline. So it is right that it's being scrutinised. But, as we see so often from the Express, they'll have an example of someone who is, unfortunately, unlikely to benefit from this themselves, but they're saying they want other people to have the choice.
Yeah, which is fine.
We had a report on it just yesterday with Greg Martin's report from a woman who exactly wanted that choice. All right, let's move on to Front of the Sun.
Yeah, so we've got Robbie Williams saying, "Fat jabs making me blind," which is a striking headline. Now, is this necessarily the case?
Now, give us the truth.
There has been some research revealing a link between the active ingredient in some fat jabs and an eye condition that causes blindness. But we don't actually have evidence that this is what's going on here. We don't actually have from this piece much insight into why Robbie Williams is actually having these fat jabs. He says, "The lack of mental anguish I've felt since I've been on Mounjaro is completely and utterly liberating." I'd like to know more about this. People are taking these for a lot of different reasons, but the author of the piece, Clemmy Moody, the assistant showbiz editor, says that she has been microdosing Mounjaro for 15 months and has also noticed deteriorating sight, went for a scan, went for the optician and was told the blurriness was simply old age. And I imagine...
Get some glasses.
I'm not saying Robbie Williams is in denial. He's no longer, he's no longer the boy of the boy band era. So perhaps it's just old age, and it's a bit easier to come to terms with the idea it might be these jabs.
I'll just say for balance, I'll be very open. I've been on the jabs for a year and a half, and I went for an eye test a month ago, and my eyesight's improved.
Yeah, you're like 25.
Yeah, exactly. So as it's.
Yeah, and I think that there's some research, but scientists are sort of in disagreement about how to interpret it.
I do think there's an element, because I think it's an unfortunate tendency in some of the tabloid press to over-promote individual examples of people having side effects, when actually it should be said that, as far as I'm aware, the vast majority of people who have tried these weight loss jabs have had a great experience and have not suffered side effects.
Yeah. Also, great sympathy for him if he is having problems with his sight.
The pieces do tend to then say, but the benefits of losing weight if you are overweight, significantly outweigh some of these other things. But I'm surprised to learn that Robbie Williams was a global ambassador for Weight Watchers. I wasn't aware he was ever overweight at any point.
And on that bombshell, we've run out of time again.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
We had a cracking story about turkeys, but we'll have to just enjoy that on our own. Anyway, lovely to see you both this morning. Thanks so much for your company.
Thanks for being with us.
I'm Stephen Murphy and I'm Sky's Ireland correspondent based here in Dublin.